Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Solomon here, and welcome back to another Dragon Saga's Newbie Guide. In the last part, we went more into Trader's Ridge and Canyon of Oblivion to save the two Axe brothers, Saga and Kunkka, whom were being mind controlled by the Black Witch Paris. In this episode, we've just received an entry-level exam for the Dragon Fellowship, whose entry requirement is rather simple: just go into a battle and beat up some monsters. But not before having to do a bunch of talk-to quests, so we're going to be showcasing how to promote. And don't worry about me being one level short of promotion. I can cover that rather quickly because, well, on weekends, we do double XP. We do experience events, and these can go very high depending on what's going on at the time. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, they do XP events, and sometimes even further days. So, we're going to just skip this. Let's see here. We need to go here. So basically, we got to examine this mutant issue by getting a gas mask in the sewers. So this is going to get us a helmet that I would recommend you keep for a little while. Not only just for actually, yeah, we're going to use it. Anyways, so to make the gas mask, we got to get some sharp blades and some pieces of clothing. We're going to use this Kunkka Mission portal card because it's going to take us right to Canyon of Oblivion where we can get all this. Okay. All the stuff drops from Sharpos in this map, so just kill them all. And we got that out of the way. Now, to take advantage of something else, they gave us a scroll to return to Port of Winds. Now, so I don't have to pay the Puff Tower cost. Hopefully I'll get level 20 soon, because level 20 potions are pretty boss. So anyways, with that out of the way, we've unlocked the emergency gas mask. It's a pretty good helmet. It looks ugly, but it gives some HP, and there are some additional items that you can farm from a dungeon that's coming up soonish that will allow you to get further set bonuses from it, which are pretty good for low level. I would recommend getting them. It fills up some necessary equipment slots. Now, we look like a regular old ugly man. Anyways, we're in the same town, so we can accept this remotely. Let's talk to Colin while we're right next to him, accepting the quest. Speedrun tactics, yo. There we go. Got to get some mutant fluid samples from water tanks in the City Hall sewers. So, they're going to have a bit of a telepathic conversation. Edeline is going to explain to us that she's a friend of Dr. Farrell from school, so we need to be able to get some samples of what's causing these monster mutations. And they're going to emphasize the need to use your gas mask. The reason: the City Hall culverts that you run are a special dungeon that give you that have a special, unique aspect to them. They leak toxic gases, and those toxic gases can damage you over time, repeatedly, so long as you are not wearing a gas mask. If you are wearing a gas mask. So anyways, the City Hall sewers has some pretty high level monsters, level 20 plus, so be very careful here. They can deal a lot of damage. They also give a good amount of experience too, especially since I'm in an XP event and getting this Dragon Fellowship buff. But our main goal is to just destroy these water tankers. So it's completely optional to destroy the monsters around them. Do it if they get close, because These skeletons here are kind of annoying. They throw daggers, they can roll into a barrel and launch you. As you see here, the dungeon here is actually pretty big. There's a lot of different types of monsters here. So, when we will end up running through it, but it's not a good idea to run through the full dungeon right now. You only need to go through this first level. And the reason is that not only are the mid-bosses kind of tricky right at level 19, but the last boss itself is, well, very difficult if you haven't promoted yet. So I would not recommend you fight Feral at level 19. Knowing that, someone's going to write in the comments that, oh, I did it right at level 19. I went through the whole dungeon, cleared it, and got like, 3 levels. I've got all the rare drops and everything. Well, congrats on you if you do that. It's a pretty interesting challenge to do a level 19 Feral, because once upon a time, he was the level 20 promotion boss, and it was nigh impossible to promote because of it. So anyways, we're going to, back away, skeleton. We're going to just kill these mutant samples and leave the sewers, because that's all we have to do. There's like over 160 monsters here, by the way. You don't have to kill all of them to progress. You just need, I'll go over the dungeon when we get to it, but just to let you know right now, don't worry about that intimidatingly high monster counter. You don't have to kill all the monsters in this dungeon. We're going to end this quest remotely. We're getting close to level 20, which is really good because it helps us out a lot. Come on, Adeline. I need to get level 20. So she's going to ask us for some souls to help with analyzation. We're basically trying to make an antidote for this mutation process. So, let's use it. Since we already disassembled some gear, like I recommended you to do, we now have that. So now, she's going to tell us now that at Wailing Hill, there's a wolf with 2 legs that we have to cure the mutation of with the new serum. This is the final quest of the promotion requirement. You'll be level 20 guaranteed by the end of this quest, I'm sure. We have to go to a place called Wailing Hill, but we can't go there because we haven't entered it yet. And I thought I was trying to be efficient. Anyways, to get to Wailing Hill, I'm not good with speedrun tactics. Dang. I'll go the long way. Anyways, to get to Wailing Hill, we just simply have to go up to this northern end of Canyon of Oblivion, and we'll be there. A few NPCs here you can do quests with. Enter here. So Wailing Hill has a dungeon in it as well. It is the Wailing Hill version of the Wolves Den. This is a higher level version of the Wolves Den available at level 19. It's got the same monsters and a very similar layout, but the problem with the dungeon is that it's harder. It's got higher level monsters in it. But we are much stronger now, so we shouldn't have as much of an issue. Alright, so we're level 20. Let's just kill these last few monsters before we go into the next segment. Now, a few things come up when you're level 20. First off, we're not going to put any skills on the SP here except for this skill right here, because level 5 focus is pretty strong. None of this I really need, so we'll just leave this all as that. We're going to be mostly focusing on the class we select at the end. And you notice this thing. This thing just came up. The element in the room, if you want to. Element points are a mechanic that is rather difficult to explain. They're secondary forms of damage that don't apply your critical hits, and they can enhance really well in combat. Early game, you're not going to notice it. The damage is going to be minuscule. But late game, they actually get pretty strong. As such, I'm going to put my first 2 points into nature. There are 2 ways to really build elements. You can put it all, but both of them start out by putting the max points into one element and then splitting and then doing whatever with the other set of points you get. So we're going to do that, and I'll go over the equipment settings for elements real quick. It's split into 2 forms of damage, PvE and PvP, as well as resistances. As you can see here, the element multiplier with the points we have is allowing us to do 31 damage if the opponent has no nature resistance. Resistances are also applied when you level up points. I take 5 less damage from resistances, and that's PvE, right? Yeah. PvP has lower multipliers than PvE. This is for the sake of balance. And we don't got to worry too much. This character's not going to be built for PvP. Anyways, the stat boosts we got at level 20 are actually helping a bit, and the element damage is providing a bit of non-critical hit boost. Though very minuscule, this is a level where it matters. Anyways, we got rid of... You're probably noticing that my XP bar is no longer blue. This is another mechanic I forgot to go over in Port of Winds. Like I said, Port of Winds is a huge city with a lot to do, and I was focusing too much on the promotion. But in Port of Winds and other towns, when you're AFK, you'll get resting experience. This experience will hold over and go up to 150% what your normal level up limit is. And when you have resting experience, until you go through all of that resting experience, you will gain bonus experience. It's a little something that makes kind of like AFKing in towns a little worthwhile. But to really fill up that bar, you got to remain AFK for extremely long periods of time. You have to remain in town logged out for extremely long periods of time. It does make to where if you can't log in every day, a little worthwhile, because you'll get a bit of experience boosting compensation for that. Anyways, like I said, this is the same layout as the normal one, so we don't have to worry too much about the type of monsters we face here. The only difference is going to be the bosses are going to be a little harder because they're stronger. Move down here. See, there's a lot of wolves again. Like I said, they traveled in packs. The lone wolf is technically never alone. They're just sending him forward because, you know, to scout. We got 7 more before the first mid-boss. We're about 30% into our level because I logged in during an XP event, which is what a few people have recommended me to just level up this guide and do these recordings during an XP event to level up faster. But part of me thought that that wasn't going to be an authentic experience to new players. Like, part of me thinks that's not an authentic experience to new players, but part of me also thinks that leveling past, like, a certain point is going to be really bothersome. Especially when this guy gets into level 40 plus. Like, level 20 to 30 right now isn't going to be too bad with it. But when I get to 30 to 40, it might drag on a bit, especially when hero quests start to have a level requirement for it. I will go over a few features that become available right at level 20 that can help alleviate this somewhat, but are better to do later on. slow heal here. Sheik here again, but he's a little stronger. You just gotta kind of remember that, remember, Sheik is the first boss to introduce Fury mode. He is going to do it here, but when his HP hits a certain amount, you'll see he'll stop taking damage. And we just gotta fill up that bar of his. Okay. That's Sheik completed. We got a nice 400,000 experience from that. We're very close to a level up because of that. We're going to get level 21 into the promotion, which is really nice to do when you're like leveling up ahead of time like that. I'm not saying level up 41 before the 41 promotion, and the 61, well, that's up to debate really. Some people say it's better to do that if you don't have any sets you're hunting for. But not me. I want to get them new skills immediately, especially considering that the branch of mage I'm going for is actually entertaining to play, instead of, you know, has this one core skill that you're always going to use, and then you have to spend 200 gold to repair your items. You know, that problem. That's right, priest mains. Blacksmiths love you. So anyways, we gotta fight our way through this last wave of wolves. Some of them are going to be a little tougher, like these monks. They have a lot of knockback to their hits. Let's hook up focus. Let's apply slow heal just to be safe. Actually really good experience. I'm not going to say like stay in the Wolf's Den for like a few levels, but in an XP event this dungeon's actually not that bad. I entered here with like what, 40% experience? So anyways, we leveled up again. We're going to put 2 more points into nature. It's going to up our damage slightly more. Looks like we're going to have a lot of extra SP for doing the promotion when it happens. So let's just fight the boss, Heath. This is going to be the last boss you have to face before you can promote. And he's a little harder this time. He's got more health, his attacks are hit harder. So I just recommend clearing some of the monsters around him. Watch out for his Hadouken, his Street Fighter moves. You know how they are. They keep spamming. Did not mean to do that. So I'm just going to kill the monsters around him. They give a little extra experience. Heath himself is like every other monster. He's got specific aggro ranges and all that. Watch out for that attack. That spin kick he does a really nice launch and does good damage. I'm just going to do what we did before. Just kite him like this. When you're a mage, you can just kind of kite him like this because his attacks have like very easy, like slow telegraphed range. We can get him to stop moving by going into his melee range and making him do a worthless melee attack. Except for that attack. That's one you gotta worry about. Alright, we beat Heath. We're already 50% of the way to our next level, and we've cured him. To find that he's a man. Yeah, they don't even go into who this man is. He's just a man that was mutated into a wolf. And we gotta get to our reward screen before we can... Reward screen. Reward screen. This is a very awkward long pause. Maybe it's because I didn't skip the cutscene or anything. Like before, just do this. I don't think this dungeon has anything worthwhile in terms of worth dropped gear. It's just a good spot to level for like a couple levels after 20. Actually, it gave us some pants and a red spirit ring, which gives us some aim rate. It's not the best ring we can get, but you know, it's a ring. We're actually gonna put that over this black ring, this white soul ring, because we can keep this health bonus for a little bit. Well, actually, no, we can wear any ring other than that. So, that's the Vagabond treatment, which we already used. Do I have the scroll? We do. We have a Port of Wind's Return scroll, so we can skip the whole run back to the Puff Tower thing, even though there was a Puff Tower in Wailing Hill for the sake of this dungeon and a future quest. Let's talk to Edeline now that the cure has been delivered. Okay. We are now in the Dragon Fellowship. We have the job advancement report and something really useful as a reward. So, now the main reward is this, the Sign of the Dragon Fellowship. It gives, this isn't it, it gives plus 11% max HP and MP and plus 6 to all stats. Really, really useful at all points in the game. You will not replace this necklace until at least level 40. In which case, well, you'll find a better version of it. This is one of those big quest necklaces that gives a ton of stats and is very useful. I recommend keeping this at all times until you find better variants of it. Anyways, let's talk to Edeline. We have two options here, Monk and Wizard. Look into your classes before you promote. You cannot change your mind no matter what you do. Support will not change your class. You can't change your class, and it's just something that you can't do. Look into it, and the best thing I'll recommend you do is when you click promotion, look at the weapons they give you. Sometimes there's bad translations. They may not have been fixed yet, but this is what we want to do. We're going to be a wizard. You're a wizard, Newbie. Anyways, for our rewards, we get the first weapon in our job promotion, the Bravery weapons. I recommend you get a seal removal scroll and use it immediately. Also, a skill reset here. These resets work for every level in the game. Also, we had this whole time. We never opened it. Oops. Oh well. Keep the skill reset. It's usable at all levels in the game, even if you didn't use yours. So, the Bravery weapons are special, in that they roll completely wrong stats. Anyways, they're always Soulcraft to special grade, and they usually give 2 good stats. In this case, it didn't. But wizards, we use spears. I also got a huge chunk in stat boosts. I can also wield this entire Dragon Expedition set. The hood is kind of useless because, well, it's useless. The hood is kind of useless. Don't worry about that. Guess all this is going to be sold. You can also start putting skills in this class. Get Mana Shield because it's really powerful. Fire Emblem. This. We need this leveled up later. 23. Tornado and Blizzard. And Tornado needs level 2. Okay, that's good. We're going to replace this. No more launch style gameplay because we now have an actually damaging skill. We're also going to put Mana Shield here. Anyways, now that we are a wizard and we've promoted, more stuff becomes available to us. Of course, these are available without promotion, but so first off, we have a cameo to address. There was an update in Dragon Saga called Worlds Collide. With the old developer Gravity, they introduced a bunch of Ragnarok content into Dragon Saga. They never did this from Dragon Saga to Ragnarok, by the way. There's a Khafra maid here. for those who play Ragnarok. And we have to talk to an NPC, and we'll get the Ragnarok Novice set. I highly recommend you get this set as soon as you hit level 20. It provides a good deal of bonuses. It gives a nice little newbie look to your character. I'm going to hide the gas mask because it looks ugly. And it provides some okay stats as a free-to-play set. There's a 5th set bonus, but you have to do a series of quests to get that. Don't worry about that right away. You can wait, take your time with that. In fact, the Ragnarok quests are kind of hard. Additionally, various forms of daily quests get unlocked at level 20. First off with this gentleman, Hunter G. You can talk to Hunter G. He'll give you a series of 10 quests. Do them to get... You can get tons of experience from those quests, as well as capsules, which can contain various gears and a chance of receiving skill points. Because of that, Hunter G capsules are considered invaluable to the player base. There is a constant streamed demand for them. If you want to make some money in the market, I highly recommend you do these 10 quests every day to get your capsules and get to sell to other players. Sell the capsules. Everything else is untradeable. Everything that they give, the SP they give is untradeable, so sell the capsules themselves. Trust me, players will pay for that chance of free SP. Or use them on yourself if you need them. Secondly, now that we're level 20, a new tier of potion becomes available. Let's talk to this merchant. We're going to sell all of our new potions. We're also going to sell various misc items that we've collected from various monsters for just a little extra gold. And normally I would disassemble this, but we're going to sell it. There we go. We're getting close there on cards. Oh, I actually forgot to buy potions. That's embarrassing. All the potion tiers are available in here. They go up to 70. But get the level 20 ones. I'm going to buy 100 of these for 1 gold, because I'm going to use way more MP. We're going to buy about 30 of these. There we go. There is a quest you can do to get your first mount, but it's not that useful. Davi, the blacksmith here. He has a repeat quest available for you. If you ever lose your gas mask, you can make another one. The equipment merchant, you don't really worry about him because the fellowship set is good for a while. The banker, Sophia, nothing new there. The other form of daily quests I want to address are in the upper half of Port of Winds. Is this gentleman right here, Donnie. Donnie will, if you want, at this level, and I would recommend you wait a little while for this, but if you can find a guild that'll let you do it, do it. You can join a guild. There are lots to choose from. The ones in the front page are typically guilds that have a lot of Emporia War use, and Emporia War is basically a guild war PvP style gameplay that utilizes the tournament board. We're not going to go into that right now. I'm not really sure if I'm going to join a guild on this character. I'm probably going to get a lot of comments or people saying, join my guild and we'll let you do dailies in it. And then I'm going to completely forget to do dailies and they'll kick me from the guild. Don't worry about this NPC. We can't do anything about her till level 40. Hello there, little dog. This dog has something for us. This is the president of Dragon Saga. A husky. Yeah, we recruited a dog for our president. Hey, there is a town in North America that has a cat as its mayor, and it's doing just fine. Anyways, for winning the election, he's going to give you a balloon. We don't know how long this event will go for, but this balloon is actually really useful. Balloons are equipped in the IM gear. You can display them behind your back or not. I would recommend not if you have trouble with PC restraints. But that's a little extra stat bonuses we can use. Additionally, Port of Winds has access to several events that are available that usually require 20 or 25. This guy right here, he's very important. Another use for your silver coins is that you can trade them for various item mall items, including randomizers and W coins for the big wheel, various item all based benefits. Very useful there, good use for your silver coins. Of course, like I told you, I'm focusing all my attention on the President Husky set for now, and then my silver coins are going to go to better stuff later. Additionally, at level 20, you can access the market. Sometimes you'll need to buy something from here. It's understandable. There are a few instances for this, but don't worry too much about it. If you want to get into the market and all that, I highly recommend you look into the prices of stuff, of specific things you're trying to sell before buying them, so you can pick out a good price to not only give you good money, but for it to sell quickly, and that's how it works. Additionally, also at level 20, which I'll have to dedicate a separate video to, is this guy, Midas. The profession system is available immediately at level 20. It's kind of hard to do, though. It's hard to explain. Basically, there are 4 different types of professions, which are like gardening, mining, woodcutting, and fishing, and they drop various stuff that can be used to craft special items. It's kind of hard to fully explain, and there are tutorials somewhere that you can look into. There's no dedicated video tutorial that I know of, but if someone can tell me they have one available, please post it or something, or advertise it, even in the Dragon Saga Discord, because this is something that I get requested to do a lot. And, oh hey, there's a guy up there we hadn't talked to. You're probably asking yourself, what's a monster doing in the middle of Port of Winds and not getting killed immediately? This is Andre. He provides a special type of daily quest akin to Hunter G and Donnie, but his dailies work differently. They drop monster card coins. The coins can be used to exchange for monster cards. These cards have their own benefits. You gotta collect a lot of them, but what they do is, when you gather enough cards, you can start combining them, and you can level skills beyond 5. This is very difficult to do. It takes approximately 32 cards to get a skill level 10, and it also takes a special IM item called Monster Card Insurance. A little bit complicated, but it's still a good daily quest because some cards like Slow Heal and other very valuable skills are worth a ton of gold. So it's another way to farm gold, but it's a bit more longer term than Hunter G. Hunter G, you can take the 10 capsules and sell them immediately and get some good money out of it. Monster cards take a little longer depending on what tier you're going for. When you go for the tier 2 cards, like for skills in this tree or in the next tree like this, they take a lot longer to grind and are worth a lot more money as a result. It's something static that if you don't plan on leveling any skill beyond 5, you can still do that to get coins and cards that are worth a ton of gold. So I highly recommend that. Let's see, I got 30 minutes. Let's go over the next series of hero quests now. I've given a little miniature tour of Port of Winds on the spots that matter. There is that little gray circle up there, but don't worry about that. That's not available until level 50. So, and even then, they won't recommend you do it right at 50. I'd recommend you do it around like 70 or 80, because the reward, the big end game reward of it is more available at the end game than it is at the early game. Now, there's a series of hero quests that become available. One of them is basically a small hero quest to unlock a mount pet, which is not important. I'm going to keep my Husky for a while, and if a new pet becomes available via event, I'll take advantage of that. So then, we have 3 promotion quests. First off, Happy Job Change. You get a gift for promoting. There's also one at 40, but it requires a bit of a harder effort. First off, this ring, the Dragon Fellowship Ring. Keep this on at all times until you find something better. The Dragon Fellowship Ring gives access to a ton of beneficial stats. HP, MP, movement speed, attack speed, critical rate, and damage. Perfect stat ring. It also goes in the IM slot, so it doesn't waste a valuable ring slot also. You can open this package, and it'll give you some various consumables. Weapon and armor dust, which is really nice. You can take that weapon dust and enchant your weapon to +4 if you want, which really benefits its items. In fact, I can do that right now. Yeah, let's enchant our weapon. But first, we can use this to expand our inventory. Yeah, you thought this inventory was going to remain cramped forever, huh? Well, you were wrong. it'll expand, and once it's expanded, we can hold a bit more. You get quite a bit of them for free, but instead, let's focus on enchanting our weapons, shall we? We'll go over the enchant system while we're here. We don't have to worry about the soulcraft system. We're not going to find anything we want to soulcraft for a while. But it's essentially the same as enchanting. You take a piece of equipment and you try to make it better. So to enchant, you talk to Davy, you click enchant, go here. Don't worry about the insurance and all that, but we're going to enchant our weapon to what's essentially the safest level to enchant it to. And we got it to 4, spent all our gold in the process, but don't worry, we can make up for that easily. When you enchant weapons, their stats go up, their defensive or attack stats will go up. The safest enchant you can use without insurance is 4, from +5 to +7. If you fail an enchant, it'll reset to 0. From +8 onwards, if you would fail an enchant, it gets destroyed. And that's where insurance comes in. The highest enchant available is level +20, and that's very good. And that's very powerful. Like, extremely powerful. Also, from +5 to +7, it gets a little aura. +8, it gets a blue aura. +11, it gets a red aura. And +16, it gets lightning. And +20, it gets a golden aura. So there's various quests available. This quest asks us to kill monsters in the sewers. And this is a quest that introduces professions. We're going to hold off on that until I dedicate an episode to that, which was going to be kind of hard. But in the gist, that quest is rather easy. So, we're going to go back into the sewers with our new promotion. And we're going to enter the City Hall sewers. Just to kill some monsters. We're not going to have to go through the whole dungeon, fortunately. That's going to be a long video. That's going to be probably the next episode, probably, depending on the time. As see here, now that we're promoted, we have access to more skills, higher damage. These count as monsters, by the way, so kill them for the quest. Man, this is nice getting attack speed. Now that you have attack speed, this is really easy. Alright, that's the first level cleared. So we'll go into the second level up here. Now that we have the quest complete, we can actually leave the sewers manually for the leave button. I could have did that before. Stupid me, forgot about that. Complete the quest from here. There's also some quests available here, but we'll cover those when we go into the areas that that they're needed at. It's going to tell you to talk to a thing called the auto lunch in the sewers. Let's enter this dungeon. You might have noticed something there that came up called expert. I'm going over that in the next video. That is something that's available when you're about 5 levels higher. Anyways, let's talk to Auto Lunch. It's got a few quests here that require monsters in the sewers to complete. Good series of quests to do for bonus experience. But we don't need to worry about those right now. We're just going to deliver this malfunction report to Edeline. She's worried, so we gotta talk to someone who frequently buys from who Dr. Farrell frequently visits, the pet shop girl, Amy. She'll have some answers and insight as to who this Farrell, as about what Farrell's doing and why that pet machine is malfunctioning. Let's talk to her. She's going to tell us about a tragic story of Dr. Farrell. He used to be a VIP member of the shop. He was conducting some research to rarefy violent wild animals that he brought from everywhere. In fact, he's #1 person who increased the number of sales for the pet food in the shops, so it could be that the Royal Palace has stopped funding his research. Ah, yes, by the way, the day when Dr. Farrell visited the shop for the last time. Yeah, something was strange about him. You want to hear about it? That day, Dr. Farrell looked very depressed. He bought a few burlap sacks of pet food and left here to go, as he said it's no longer needed for him. I couldn't remember it well, as I always think about other things and the conversation is long. What was that? Memphis, Majokis. Anyways, he said he signed contract with something. Oh, Mephisto. Oh god, we're getting Diablo bosses in this. He was sad when he said he signed the contract with him, but it's a good thing for him because he signed the contract. However, his depressed face is still on his mind. Wait, I still keep a letter for which he left at the time, but I couldn't find it. I'll try to find it soon. I found the letter. Wait a minute, the day when Dr. Farrell came to find me for the last time, he had dropped this envelope over here. First time I thought he purposely pretended to drop the letter to ask me to read it, but it doesn't look like a letter for me. After I opened it, his handwriting is also very bad. Wait, I think I put it somewhere between these her books. Here it is. So, Farrell apparently made a contract with Mephisto. I don't know who that is. The only Mephisto I know is a Diablo boss, but, you know, he's not important anymore, apparently. So, a love letter. Finally, it's my time to meet the adult. And let me read through it. This is weird. How come here's a character that is used in the Holy Empire time thousands of years ago? Everything has been ready. Words are not a difficult one. I think I can interpret it right away. Let me read it. Okay. Everything has been ready. Now please complete the DNA study for revival. As you promised me, Dr. Farrell, please don't forget. Death is the only thing to destroy this contract. From your friend, Paris. Paris? Do you think you've heard this name somewhere before? Yes, actually. She is a very, very bad girl, according to Kunka. You know, the whole thing, Farrell was actually a good guy that was researching bad monsters through gene manipulation, but one day he lost funding for his investigation and his monsters were killed because of a mistake. Since then, he formed a pact with demons or something. So, yeah, Dr. Farrell apparently makes contracts with demons after he loses his funding. Pretty sad motivation for an evil scientist. But enough talk about that. We leveled up again. A new skill becomes available called Tornado. We're not going to really use that because it launches. We just need it as a prerequisite to a very important skill. As for this skill, I'm not getting it. I don't care what you tell me, I'm not getting Cloud Kill. It's not that good a skill. It's just a joke skill. Put more nature points. Now, we have a very difficult task ahead of us. We have to beat the crap out of Dr. Farrell. His lab is sealed away through 5 keys that we cannot open his lab doors without something else. Without breaking open the entrance with our... Why are my words mixed up today? Basically saying, to get to Farrell, we have to slay his 5 elite monsters that are guarding the keys to his laboratory. So we have to go through the sewers on his manor to get to his lab and fight his elite monsters along the way. Now then, at this point, you no longer have to worry about killing monsters. They're just there for being there. We can skip through all that because we just need the 5 keys. Bit of another money-making tip that used to be good was that the 5 keys used to be tradable. You could sell them to other players. Nowadays, that's not so important. People will laugh at you if you try to sell them feral keys. Anyways, to get to the keys, you have to go through these various elemental doors and fight a boss. Bosses are actually pretty easy. They're just normal versions of... They're just stronger versions of normal monsters. Pick up the key. If you are in a party, make sure you set the key drop to free-for-all so that one person has all the keys in their inventory. And set one person to have all the keys in their inventory. The party, it will not read when the party has, when someone in the party, if the keys are scattered amongst the party. Got the wooden key. We got 2 down, 2 to go. First 2 are only on this floor, I know that. This is where the dungeon starts to get a lot of traps, so you gotta be careful. Complex platforming, no, I failed. If you fall in a bottomless pit in this game, you just take damage equal to a % of your max HP. I suck at this. God, I am sucking at this. It's mostly because I'm used to doing this at faster movement speeds, like I'm leveling an archer or something. Trust me, when... Okay, next boss is behind all these fat guys. Like I said, the monsters here you don't have to kill, but they are good experience to kill. So if you want to, you can, and I failed to jump again. Good thing I have a very... It's a good thing I have a heal over time spell. Anyways, there's a series of ladders here we have to climb. One of these doors, by the way, is a fake. If you go in there, you'll find an empty room. You can tell it's fake because there's no glow in it. And it's for, I think, a key that we already got. Complex platforming, go! Yeah. Go in this door. This is monster number 4. Which is a Frankenstein's version of Saga. These are mad scientists, so... Got that key. That's 1 key to go, and it's towards the end of the dungeon, so we don't have to worry about that. Jump down this pit. Ow. Watch out for the lasers. Who turns on lasers like this? I don't know. By the way, it's highly recommended you do this in a party because the boss at the end of this is actually pretty hard. Like I said, he used to be very difficult. We'll just pick up this iron key, get out of this trap-filled room. He's the only... Ow. Ow. I didn't even touch that. Anyways, when you've gotten all 5 keys, the way to Farrell's lab becomes open. Reapply your buffs and get ready for a tough fight. Because we're going to face the mad scientist himself, Dr. Farrell. Crazed scientist, Dr. Farrell. Uh-oh. Why do I feel like I'm going to fight like 12 of you in my adventure? Who knows? Anyways, Dr. Farrell. The room ahead has tons of laser traps, and the entire place has toxic gas debuff. Fight him on this side of the room exclusively. And the reason I recommend this is because Farrell himself, there's tons of skeletons and such on the other side of the room, plus laser traps. Makes fighting him anywhere else kind of hard. His attacks are pretty hard hitting, though of course they won't hit me super hard because I have a defensive shield. But to warriors and thieves, this can be kind of difficult. His attacks can apply jump and dash block, which can make kiting and fighting around him very difficult. I said this fight was going to be hard. I already gone through about 70% of his health. I thought I was going to be like 23. Then again, I am 22, which is a safe level to fight this boss. And the bravery weapons are pretty strong. Anyways, when you beat Feral, there are medals you can get for beating all the monsters in this dungeon X number of times. He gives a lot of experience, and he's dead. He died with a grin on his face. The traps are deactivated, and like any other dungeon, there's reward boxes. Feral has a few unique drops himself, one of which is a special jewel which can be exchanged with multiple of its kind to get a gem that can enchant your weapon, your gear to a certain level, which I just got. Worthless gem. Actually, no, that's not the good one. You could sell them, though. Experience boost potion. This gives various amount of experience. It's meant for level 17. I didn't get anything good here, but the best drops are his rubber gloves, his belt, and his adrenaline capsule, which can combine with the gas mask you got to provide a pretty useful selling item, a pretty useful set bonus for early on. But don't worry if you didn't get them. But anyways, Feral is slain. So, the Port of Winds is safe from mutant wrath. Let's talk to Colin. And we get us a good amount of experience for that. Doesn't really give us anything else. Let's talk to him again. So, first off, this quest. Dr. Feral's research result. There is a gemstone that you can get that's a unique drop from Feral's dungeon. If you find it and give it to Colin, he can give you the mysterious Feral's jewel, which can enchant any item to +3. Pretty useful for saving some time on invention. Not really, I don't really have the item because the worthless gem is not the various one, so don't worry about that. The main quest is this quest. I should let you do a mission as a member of the Dragon Fellowship. Do you want to try that? Okay. A diary of structural drawing of a monster. Did you just see a seagull? Anyways, nah, I just bothered it. Anyways, I'll give you this diary and drawing, so the thing you have to do is... Why did that seagull do something like this? Hey, the seagull took a diary! Let's chase that little bastard. I think it went to Bearded Whale Coast. We don't have enough time. Find that seagull. Since we lost it, we should find someone who saw it. Dr. Feral's diary is very important. So, the ineptitude of the Dragon Fellowship shines as we just lost Feral's diary to a seagull. Next time on Dragon Saga, we're going to accept more hero quests in this vicinity and enter the beach areas for the first time. See you guys then.